This is the plaintiff, Lunique Owens. She says the defendant, a vicious pit bull owner, refuses to reimburse her for the vet bills his dog caused when he attacked her cute little poodle. The pit bull mauled her dog, had him in his jaws, and was shaking him back and forth like a rag doll. She's done trying to deal with a nasty defendant and is suing here and now for the $5,000 she's most definitely owed. This is the defendant, Joanne Hoey. She says she received a knock on her door shortly after moving in, and it was the plaintiff with a tree saw in her hand, saying she was going to cut her dog in half. Wow, welcome to the neighborhood. As far as this particular incident goes, her insurance company paid the medical bills for the dog, and this matter's now closed. How the plaintiff came up with this $5,000 lawsuit should be interesting. Very interesting indeed. She's accused of failing to control her pit bull.
Lunique Owens, you are suing your neighbor Joanne
Hoey
for $5,000 in vet bills, your medical bills, and your pain and suffering because, according to you, her pit bull keeps getting out and attacked your dog. Tell me what happened.
We moved into a neighborhood around June of 2009. My girls and myself, I have triplets that are 10-year-old triplets, and my husband.
God bless
and
you.
it was like, it was our dream house because it was enough room for everyone. It was 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, and something that was affordable. So it was our dream home. We moved there. And shortly after we moved there, it turned into a nightmare. It has been hell living there.
Why?
Because when we got there, our neighbors, soon after we found our neighbors had a pit bull and a Rottweiler. And when we would pull up...
Is she your next-door neighbor?
Yes, she
Okay.
is. When we would come home, the dogs would be out there running loose. So I was afraid to get out of the car, and my children, I weren't going to let them get out of the car. They were afraid as well because the dogs are huge, and they're running around. So we went over there on a couple of occasions. We didn't immediately just call the police on them. We went and tried to be neighborly and asked them a couple of times, could you keep your dog on your property and not on our property, because we were afraid of your dogs. They're huge. One time we went over there, and it was like...
What would she say?
They do this. They run around loose. I guess before we moved there, this is what they do.
Okay.
So it was okay.
But this is not what they can do.
It
That's
was okay
illegal.
for them
So what
to
did
do
she
that.
say?
And
I'm sorry,
her,
you moved into our neighborhood? Like what?
Yeah, like they roam around. It's okay for them. And I say, no, there's a leash law. You need to have your dogs on a leash.
Right.
And that was one time.
But so she said, no, I'm not?
She didn't say no, she didn't. She didn't say yes, she would. She just said that that's what they do.
Okay, that's it? That's how the conversation ended?
What? Well, it was more.
Well, no, I want to know.
we got into like a heated exchange.
Okay.
About her dogs being on my property. And I tell her, well, I'm in fear of my life. You know, I'm going to do something to your dogs if I see your dogs over there again.
Okay. Would this be the chainsaw incident?
The first time I met Lunique was 8:15 in the morning. I was in bed with my dog in the room. That was the first time I met her.
With both dogs?
No.
Why was she knocking on your door at 8:15?
She said my dog was on the loose,
At that
threatening
moment?
her.
At that moment?
At that moment.
Oh, okay. So one of your dogs was out?
This is my dog. It's right here.
Who's the
I'm
other
still
dog?
in my pajamas.
Okay, I know you're in your pajamas. Now I want to know which of the dogs was outside.
That was, she's saying it was Gypsy, the Rottweiler. Wasn't
was
even that
Gypsy
one.
outside?
No, she was with me.
Okay, who's the other dog, the pit bull?
That belongs to my daughter.
Okay, and who lives in your house?
Yes.
Okay, so
And the pit
now-
bull was in her bedroom.
Okay, so neither of your dogs was out
No,
at 8:15?
no.
All right, so that's how the first time you meet her. But then
That's
there's
correct.
numerous incidents.
Yes.
Numerous incidents that occur
Yes.
before she, and many of them she called the police on you, right? When the dogs were loose. Why do your dogs keep getting loose?
For
'Cause you
one
let
thing,
them?
as far as I know, the first time we came home to her saying that the dogs were loose, there were 4 police officers, 4 police cars in my front yard. I was scared to death. I thought my daughter had been murdered or something. Apparently, she says one of my dogs had gotten out. The fence door was open. I was not even home. So somehow the door, the lock, the bolt got open, and that's all I know that happened. My neighbor immediately got the dog.
but
It had only been out for a minute, she said. She saw the dog and she took it back in.
She says that you told her, look, this is a dog, and it is something that you said in your answer to the complaint, this is a dog-friendly neighborhood.
Yes, we have 10 large breed dogs within one block.
Okay. And what is the practice in this neighborhood to let the
They are
dogs run
all,
around?
my dogs are on a leash. We walk them on a leash. If, you know, you can't always help that sometimes, you know, the power people or whoever, or maybe somebody trying to get some money, you know, happen to open up my backyard
So
so
you
that.
think she is going to your gate and opening up your backyard
I'm
so
not-
that your pit bull comes out and she can get some money?
I don't know how they got open.
Is it true that your dogs are loose a lot?
No, and for one thing,
Have your dogs been loose ever?
I've lived at that house for 16 years. So,
Okay, but that's the answer to the question, how long have you lived at that house?
well, there have been a couple times when they got out. And
How many times has she complained about your dogs being loose?
to me, she never talked to me. Other than that one incident, she's never talked to me.
Okay, how many times has she called the police on you?
I think 5 times.
Okay, so the police come, and what have happened on those 5 occasions? Are the dogs still outside when the police come?
Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not.
And what do they do about it? Does she get cited?
The first 3 times, they like her neighbor took them in, and then they don't see them. They say, well, we have to see them. So the first 3 times they didn't. The other 4 times, which makes it 7, they did. One occasion, the pit bull and the Rottweiler ran the police in my house. I was at the
They
door.
chased the police in?
Yeah, because they're big and they were lunging. They run fast. And he's like, oh, so I opened my door and I slammed it. He says, oh, thanks for saving my butt. I'm like, well, you should be saving my butt from those dogs. You know? And so we're in my house. We're terrified because the dogs are huge. And they just lunge at you. So that was one report that we had. And I have it here for you to see.
Let me see it.
Okay. Then it's another incident where I called the police and they came out and they say, no, my dogs aren't vicious. They won't do anything like that. And the dog bit the police officer's hand and he had to get his hand out of the dog's mouth.
Okay, I thought you said that your dogs don't get out. She's giving this vivid description of all the number of times the police have gotten involved. Tell me what
This
happened with
was-
the bite on the cop.
Apparently, another incident where the fence was left open. I
Wow.
can't say because I wasn't home, okay?
Who lives
Same
in your
thing.
house?
I wasn't home.
Who lives in your house?
My daughter.
Wow.
How old's your daughter?
She's now 21. She was 19 at the time.
Anybody else live in your house?
And of course, they have, you know, teenagers that would come and go.
I know, but see, that's your problem. That's not everybody else's problem.
I came home, the dog was already back in the house. She said that the dog was out. The police officer was very intimidating. There was 4 of them there at the time. And they told me that I had to bring the dog out to prove to them that the dog was there. So I brought out the dog, and all the officers pet the dog, no problem. I was going in to take Dexter back in the house, and the other police officer reached and touched him on the butt. And he turned around and snapped at him. Now, his supervisor, the police officer, was there, and she came over and looked at him, and he said, oh, I got bit. Well, he didn't say he even got bit. He said he got scratched. She looked at it, and she says, well, I don't really see anything. So we didn't hear anything about that incident as far as,
Ms. Hoy, what are you waiting for? A disaster? A catastrophe?
No, we don't no longer
kids
have the
run down the
dog.
street.
Okay, what happened with both or one of the dogs?
We went to court, and the judge allowed us to keep Gypsy, but
Which is the Rottweiler?
Yeah, we were forced to get rid of Dexter.
What happened with Dexter?
He was given to my daughter's boyfriend at the time.
And he lives where?
He lives
Elsewhere, not on your,
yeah,
not in that
right,
neighborhood.
right.
All right, and is Dexter doing fine?
Yeah, great.
Does he-
Had no
does he
problems in a
keep-
year and a half.
And Dexter isn't roaming that neighborhood?
No, and I have sworn statements from all my neighbors on that street saying
Which ones?
they
The
have.
ones that keep taking your dog when they're roaming free? And there's
No,
a
I'm
police
saying
come?
that they have said that they've never had any trouble with my dog.
Yeah, I know, but Ms. Hoy, here's the problem, okay? There has been trouble because you've now described how he nipped the police officer. You're about to tell me how it attacked your dog, and we all know that there have been 7 times the police have been called. So
I
at
don't
some point,
recall
when do
that.
you just say, you know what, my daughter's too big a slackjaw to be in charge of a pit bull? And a Rottweiler. She can't. She said she's not paying attention. She has slackjaw friends, whatever. You either build a system that contains a dog or you have to get rid of your dogs.
Well,
But you
that's
can't be mad at your neighbors that your daughter keeps letting your dogs out.
I'm not mad at my neighbors.
Okay, well, sounds like you are. Like you feel like, oh, it's never been a problem. I got affidavits
I
from the
never
rest of the
said
neighbors.
that.
Nobody else has a problem. She's just a money-hungry person who probably let the dog out. Tell me how you let her dog out, how you walked over to the pit bull house and the Rottweiler house to open the gate so that you hopefully would get mauled so you could sue. Tell me about that.
We were in my front yard. my triplets, one of my triplets were outside. My husband was outside. He's getting ready to wash the car. All of a sudden, the pit bull just comes in our yard and attacks Bella, which is my 4-pound.
Bella is your 4-pound what?
Toy poodle.
Toy poodle. Oh, well, that's a real problem.
So as soon as he attacked her, and I'm looking.
That's lunch for Dexter.
He has her in his mouth, and I just started fighting the dog. I didn't want to see my dog get killed. I didn't want my daughter to see my dog get killed in front of her. So it was just really bad. And my husband's out there screaming, and I'm trying to fight the dog, and he's telling everybody to run in the house.
And the kids are out?
Yeah, my daughter's out. And that's what brings us here, because the dog, once again, is out of the house, again, that I let out, I guess. And it just doesn't make sense. When does it stop? When my children are mauled by these dogs?
Yeah, when one of them loses an eye.
Is that when it stops?
Yeah.
She was ordered to have her dog removed. Since then, I've seen the dog in the car with her daughter. I've seen it before. I mean, she's just not.
Did you tell the judge that?
No, it was after the fact. I didn't tell the judge.
Well, you could. You could just file a motion and bring it back in front of the court and say she didn't abide by the court order because a dog comes to visit your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because that's what we call a contempt citation.
Okay.
And that ends up costing someone a lot of money or jail if they're not obeying a court order. So maybe that's something you need to pursue. In the meantime, you are suing for vet bills for your dog. Show me the vet bills.
Okay.
And then you're suing for your medical bills. What happened to you?
When I was out there fighting that dog, because my husband told me that I was really slapping him, trying to get him off, because that's a big dog. Later on, it's like my whole side. It was just really, it was hurting. I went to like therapy for a week, but I was in so much pain. I was on medication for the pain, and that's what I have here. That's why I'm suing for myself as well.
Okay, did you end up going to the doctor? Did you end up going to an emergency room? How did you incur the $900?
I went to the emergency room, and I went to a doctor, and I also had therapy, and I also have all the bills here.
Okay. Now, according to you, your insurance company paid her medical bill.
That's correct.
Okay, let me see what you've got. No, stay where you are. My bailiff will come up there. Okay, now this is a letter from Citizens Insurance Company saying, please find enclosed a check in the total amount of $1,506 payable to your client and firm based on your medical expenses pursuant to your March 19th letter. This letter is dated June 6th. When was the last time you spoke to your lawyer?
I have no knowledge of that, none of that.
I mean, only one of two things happened. You're getting a copy of a letter that Citizens may have sent but never got to the lawyer, or the lawyer received it, cashed it, and just hasn't called you to tell you he has your money in 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, I haven't.
One of two things happened. Your lawyer cashed this or didn't cash this.
Okay.
I'm fascinated to find out what happened there, and I think I'm going to take a recess and find it out for you.
Yes,
okay?
thank you.
All rise.
So should this defendant have dogs?
Not big dogs. Little dogs, maybe, not big dogs.
But you know, little dogs are going to run out into the street. I mean, is this person a responsible dog owner?
I do not believe so. I do not believe so.
What do you think?
I think, you know, when you have a dog, you have certain responsibilities, and part of it is to keep other dogs safe.
And a pit bull especially?
Yeah, pit bulls are known to, like, you know, attack people, so you got to keep an eye on them.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Okay, Ms. Owens.
Yes.
Were you able to find out anything during the break?
Yes, I was.
Indeed. My staff and you got together and sat down and made some phone calls to your lawyer, and what did you find out?
That I never received a letter from them that they had a check for the medical payment in a trust.
Okay, so it appears that, in fact, the insurance company sent your lawyer a settlement for your medical bills, and your lawyer never informed you?
No.
Were they embarrassed?
The lady was like, oh, I don't know what happened, but she did.
Did you get to speak to your actual lawyer?
No.
Did you leave a message?
Oh, well, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'd like to be a fly on the wall of that conversation. So that you know, when your representative agrees to a settlement on your behalf like that, and you knew that that was in the works, right?
Well, no.
In fact, you were happy because the amount was more than what you thought it would be.
Yeah, it was more doctor bills.
But of course, you're going to be paying that lawyer a third of your fee.
It was more doctor bills.
Right. That takes care of two things. That takes care of your medical bill. It takes care of your entire medical claim, which includes your pain and suffering.
Okay.
You understand that, right? Right.
I do know.
Okay. So what that leaves is the vet bill. And your best answer to the vet bill is, oh, it wasn't that bad.
No, I never said that.
Okay. So she's out $924.57. What should be done about it?
If her dog was in fact injured on that occasion, which I believe is different from her story, then she is entitled to get payment for the vet bill. Why did she wait a year and a half to present me a bill? I have never gotten a vet bill from her. Why not?
Well, let's see. The answer to that is because she told you from the beginning what she was doing. She did it through your insurance company. Your insurance company was settling with her for a long time. And I don't really care because that's not relevant to whether or not you have to pay it. I think we're pretty much done here. You need to pay that vet bill, which is what you have to do when you're an irresponsible pet owner like you are. That is why your dog was taken away from you. You need to write a letter to the judge who ordered her to get rid of the pet and tell the judge that you have seen the pet on the premises again. Then the judge will call her in, and hopefully you in so that you can witness it, and then take care of business. That's what needs to happen. $924.57.
Thank you.
Well, as the defendant leaves the courtroom, we can find out what your reaction to the verdict is here against
This was a pit bull witch hunt, plain and simple. Pit bull owners, unite! It was all against the pit bulls. I didn't even get to tell my side of the story at all. She lied, and I don't have any recourse.
Isn't it a little risky to have the dogs running around when there are kids in the neighborhood?
They never got out when we were home. I don't know how they got out.
Well, whether you were home or not.
On the incident we were here for, the dogs were on a leash.
All right, around the corner there. All right, let's find out what the plaintiff thinks. You think exactly the same thing she said, right?
No.
Oh.
No.
Well, aren't you? How scared are you on a daily basis?
I'm terrified.
With the triplets.
I'm terrified. Those dogs are vicious. They've been several times. They'll do it again. And I don't want me and my children to be her dog's chew toy.
Okay, Harvey?
You know, I've talked about this before. If you have an issue like this with an irresponsible dog owner in your neighborhood, call the Department of Animal Control. They can actually get the dog removed from the neighborhood if the owner won't take responsibility. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.